the Arise South Africa final push for the 2024 election. What a journey, what a time it's been. And I know many of you have been here from the beginning, from the days when we were still collecting signatures to qualify for the elections. And now here we are, one day away from the elections. There's over 27 million people registered to vote in our country. 27 million people tomorrow will be, if they all go out to vote, they'll be seeing Arise South Africa on the ballot paper. What a journey it's been. It's been a journey of faith. It's been a journey of growth. And it's truly been a phenomenal journey. And I want to thank every single person that has been with us from this journey. It's not been an easy journey. Running for politics in South Africa is not an easy thing. There's one politician who says, Iwi mantwe, which I believe it's not an easy journey. But here we are, many, many days later. We are here, we are standing, and we are going to be on all 9 provincial ballot papers. If all people go and vote, 27 million people will see Arise South Africa. I want to thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you that have been with us from the beginning of this journey. Many of you that have been on social media, one of the things people don't know is that Arise South Africa, when we started collecting signatures, it was you, the people on social media, that assisted us. When we started looking for donations, it was you, the people on social media. And I always respect and honor that, to say South Africans have truly come through and formed something formidable and powerful in Arise South Africa. And congratulations to each and every one of you. And thank you. Thank you so much for the great work that you've done. Now we are just counting hours. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock in the morning, every voting station in this country is going to be open. Tomorrow, South Africa decides its future. And as you can tell, the atmosphere has changed in the country. It's truly an atmosphere of change. It's an electrifying atmosphere. We can all tell that something is about to change in our country. By the way, this is the most contested election in the history of elections, and people are saying that it's the most heated election in the history of elections in South Africa. I want to first start by thanking all our leadership structures in Arise South Africa. Many people see me here on social media, but are not aware that we've got a National Executive Council in Arise South Africa. We have provincial executive councils. We have regional executive councils and branch leaders as well. I want to thank each and every one of them. Without them, we would not have gotten to where we are. We launched our manifesto, and many of you attended our manifesto online. Some of you attended physically, and many people wanted to know more about our manifesto. We did lessons here online where we came through and we spoke about our manifesto. And many of you received it. Many of you liked the ideas. And I believe that now it is time to implement. Arise South Africa has spoken much about the mineral wealth that we have in our country, the boundless opportunity and potential that South Africa has, that we should put young people at the front to lead and guide our nation. And the time has now come for us to actually put that X on the ballot paper and ensure that everything we've been discussing over the past year, it becomes a reality. I want to know in the comment section, when did you join Arise South Africa? At what date did you join Arise South Africa? We are only a year old, yet we are competing, or we are there in the most contested election in our nation. And one of the things I want to reflect back on was our court case with the IEC. Many of you saw it, the court case that happened when we were going to court for the national, and that almost derailed the fire and the vigor that we had as Arise South Africa. But one of the things we've come to realize is that every single political party has a journey and a story to tell. And our journey and our story was that we had issues in the national ballot paper. And many of you stuck it through. It was a very awkward time. It was a painful time. But many of our leaders stuck it through. Each and every one of you stuck it through. And when we got to realize that we are on the provincial ballot paper, we sat down as leaders and said, we need to be grateful. There were over 600 political parties that started off when the year started. I'm sure many of you heard 600 political parties, lots of political parties contesting. And as we speak at the moment, there are less than 40 political parties that are in all 9 provinces. And Arise South Africa is one of them. I don't believe that it is because we are the wisest. I don't believe that it is because of our own wisdom that we did it. I believe God is on our side. And I also believe that your support has gotten us here. So already we've achieved history. Out of 600 political parties, now we've got less than 40 that are on all 9 provincial ballots. And in some provinces, we've only got about 28 political parties in the provincial ballot paper. And I believe that us being in the provincial ballot paper is strategic. And let me tell you why. Because change can begin in the provinces. That's important. Change can begin in the provincial government. And we look forward to ensuring that our voice, our ideas, and our leaders are represented and are active in all the 9 provinces. So thank you. Each and every one of you, thank you so much. I see some people, I see a message, somebody says, I joined after watching the Penwell show. Wow. I see another one saying, I joined after seeing it on TV. Wow. Somebody says, I joined after a friend told me. Wow. So many of us have different stories. And our story is united in one thing, that each and every one of us loves South Africa and we believe in the potential that this country has. That's the thing that unites us all. The fact that we love this country and we believe and we see the potential that this country has. I have voted. As you can see, I went to vote and I voted with the special votes. So there were 2 days, Monday and Tuesday today, where people were able to go and vote specialists before the elections. So I voted, and I must tell you, it was a very emotional moment. You know, I got in at the voting station here in Johannesburg, and when I got in, I just froze. It was a tent. And when I froze, the lady said to me, come through. And when I got there, she asked for my ID, which is important, by the way. So when you're going to vote tomorrow, please note we only allow, or the IEC is only allowing your ID. They are not allowing anything else. So let's ensure that when we go out tomorrow, we go out with our IDs. They're not allowing drivers. They're not allowing anything else, only your ID. So don't forget your ID. And when I got there, I handed my ID over to her. And she looked on the system to validate that I was registered to vote and that was the right voting station. That's a second important thing. You have to go to the voting station that you are registered to vote at. And if you're not yet sure where you're supposed to vote, you can send a number. You can send an SMS to a number and the IEC will inform you where you are registered to vote. And tonight, thank you so much for all the people tuning in. Please let everybody know that we are live. It's the final push tonight. Let everybody know that we are live. I see that on many platforms the numbers are increasing. The leading number at the moment is TikTok. TikTok is the leading number. We're live on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. And when I got there and I looked at the ballot paper, I will be honest with you, I froze. Luckily, there were no people around me. So I took a moment just to breathe it in. And, you know, as I stood there, I looked on the ballot paper, the provincial ballot paper, and Arise South Africa was number 3. It's in Gauteng. And in many provinces, by the way, we are number 1. In many provinces on the provincial ballot paper, we are number 1. And as I looked at that ballot paper, I saw a picture of myself there. So you'll see a picture of me, the president of Arise South Africa. I saw Arise South Africa, the words written there. I saw our logo, the mighty eagle. I saw it there. And I saw a block next to it. And I stood there and I remembered why we started what we started. That when each and every one of us looked at political parties that exist in our country, we did not find a political party where we could fit in or where ideas were leading. And when we started a political party, there were so many people that said that you will not make it. People said to us that politics is too dirty. People said to us that people will kill you in politics. People said to us that politics is difficult. People said to us, who is your funder? I remember an old man sat me down and he said, what is your surname? And when I told him my surname, he said, but you are not a Tambo, you are not a Mandela, you are not a famous surname in this country. How is it that you're going to make it in politics? And I said that we've got a vision. As the people of South Africa, we are tired of the status quo. We've got a vision to change this country. And as I explained, he said, it's a great vision. He said, you're full of great ideas. I can see that you're ready to implement. But he ended off by saying, you will not make it because you are not funded by one of the people in this country who fund political parties. That's what he said to me. He said, you will not make it because you are not funded by one of the families that fund political parties in this country. And I remember looking at that old man, respectfully so. I said to him, I respect what you've said, but there is a God. That's all I said to him. I said, I respect what you've said. And I mean, he had a point to say that political parties that exist, many of them are started or funded by some rich billionaire who's trying to push their own agenda. And I said, I respect what you've said, but there is a God. That was my response to him. And when we started the journey of Arise South Africa and up until where we are today, and I'm telling you, as I stood before that ballot box and I looked on the pink sheet and I saw Arise South Africa, the first thing I did is I wanted to put my X, but I first paused. And in my heart, I said a prayer, a very simple prayer. I said, thank you, God. That was my simple prayer. In my heart, I said, thank you, God. Because had we listened to what people were saying to us, had we listened to the naysayers, we would have never gotten this far. We would have sat down like many people in this country that said, if you don't have some billionaire family that's funding you, you won't be able to run in the political sphere in South Africa. They said, you will fail. And at that moment, I thought we have done it collectively. Each and every one of us, we have done it. And the most beautiful part about this is that this is our movement. I often say to people that every single idea in Arise South Africa, we listened, we wrote down, and we implemented. There was never a time where somebody came to Arise South Africa and they were told that, no, there's this funder or that funder that says that this should not happen or that shouldn't happen. Every single idea that came forth, we listened and we implemented as a unit. And here we are, a few hours away from making history. We have done it. My heart is so full of gratitude. My heart is so grateful to say what we have been able to achieve as a political party that's 1 year old. By the way, we are only 1 year old as Arise South Africa. What we've been able to achieve, we've done the impossible. And tonight, I want each and every one of you to just take a moment and think about that, to say what people deemed impossible, what people had sown their lives through. I mean, I remember when people who actually came to me, and these are elderly people, they said, we've been alive longer than you have. It's not going to be possible for you to do this. They said, you won't make the ballot paper. And through all the turmoil, through everything that was thrown our way, we kept the faith. We kept the faith. We said, yes, against all odds, we're going to make it. And indeed, here we are. Here we are, a few hours away. Can you imagine? I mean, over 20 million people tomorrow are going to see Arise South Africa. That in itself is such a powerful, powerful story of what we've been able to achieve through the collective that is Arise South Africa. Now, our story is not complete. In fact, our story is just beginning. We are just at the beginning of our story. And as I said to the leaders yesterday, I said, we are at the point where we've come to learn that if you want to fix South Africa, you have to take it by force. I said to other leaders the other day that South Africa is a country that many people have abused. They send minerals down every single year. They come in, they buy minerals, they leave. It's a country that for many years people came and apartheid ravished our people. It's a country that has suffered abuse. And the people that have abused it, they don't want to see change in South Africa. They want to continue abusing the country. And I said to the leaders of Arise South Africa yesterday in the meeting that it's important that we take it by force. because they are not going to allow South Africa to be released into the glory and the fruition and the prosperity and the greatness that this nation is. The same people that functioned during apartheid, their businesses are still functioning today. And many of them that control this country, even from outside of this country, many of them don't want to see South Africans arising and benefiting from their own country. And I said to the leaders yesterday that the scripture that inspired me is that it says, the kingdom of God suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. And I said, we've reached the point in our campaign where each and every one of us can see South Africa is there tomorrow. Tomorrow, South Africa is there. We have to take it by force. And when I say force, I don't mean the violence of physical violence. No, I mean that we must ensure that we take our country by force. And what does that look like? What does that mean for you? President, what do you mean by force? The first thing we must do is we must ensure that we've got a contact list of 100 people that we are going to contact to ensure that they have voted for Arise South Africa. The moment we wake up tomorrow, we are calling our list of 100 people, each and every one of us. This is the force I'm talking about. And we are saying to them, have you gone to the voting stations? Have you voted for Arise South Africa? Have you put an X on Arise South Africa? Send me a picture of your thumb so that I can see that you've done it. It is about us taking it by force, because let me be honest with you. There are people that are not happy that Arise South Africa began and that it did what it did. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, do you realize that you've broken down strongholds in this country that have been there for years? That ever since South Africa existed, there has never been a group of people that started a political party and were able to do what Arise South Africa has done at such a short space of time. And they went on to say, at the age that you are at, they said, spiritually and physically, you've destroyed principalities and strongholds. And when they said this, I said, this is true. I mean, at the age of 30, after 1 year, what Arise South Africa has been able to do, we have destroyed principalities and powers that did not want our country to move forward. So we have to take this by force. And that's why I'm saying to you to say, where we are right now, we are at a very important point. There is a seriousness that's needed from each and every one of us. We have to take it by force. And that's why I'm saying your list of 100 people, you've written that list down, you've contacted them, you've let them know that tomorrow we are voting for Arise South Africa. You are not going to be lenient or easy on them. No, you are taking it by force. Why? Because there is an enemy in our nation that does not want change. There is an enemy that wants to see us fail. There is an enemy that wants to continue running this country into the ground. And we are the restraining force. We're a force as Arise South Africa. We are the restraining force. Imagine what we were able to achieve in 1 year. Imagine what we will be in 5 years. Imagine what we'll become in 10 years. Imagine what we will be. And by the way, in 10 years, I'll only be 40. Imagine what we will be. So it's important for us to realize that we must take it by force. It suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. I want you to type in the comment section, take it by force. That's very important. Take it by force. I want you to type in the comment section, force. Force. Yes, that's exactly how we're going to take it. We're going to take it by force. We are resolute and we are decided about what we are doing. So your list of 100 people, you are calling them and making sure that each and every one of them have voted for Arise South Africa. People have been asking and saying, President, what do we do? How do we get to a point where we ensure that things happen? I said, I'm going to give you the road plan. The first thing, you are taking it by force. Your list of 100 people, you are ensuring that they have voted for Arise South Africa. The second thing you are doing is you are transporting people. Now, we need to understand the history of our people in South Africa. Our people have been lied to for many years in our country. Many of them believe that elections is about handouts. And what the ANC has done to our people over the years is they've trained our people to only believe that if I'm not transported to the voting station, if a political party is not going to come and fetch me, I'm not going to go. I'm going to sit at home and rather watch TV. I'm going to sit at home and rather do a braai. I'm not going to go to the voting station. So I want to ask each and every one of you that have got a car, tomorrow, use your car to transport people to the voting stations. It's only when you transport them and you explain to them to vote for Arise South Africa that each and every one of them will be able to do so. When you go out, remember, we are dealing with an old bad mindset that many people have to say, if somebody's not going to come and fetch me, I'm not going to go and vote. So that's why it's important that the second thing you do, you get into your car in the morning, and your car in the morning is a transporter of change. Your car is transporting people to go to the voting station. Why? So that our people can go and vote. That's very important. Now, the third thing that we're going to do, which is very important, is that on that day, there are still people, when we were doing our research to look at how do some of these political parties win, we found out that the ANC, every time there's an election, they cook for people, they buy them food, and because they have fed these people end up voting because they are hungry. It's no secret. Our country has a 50% poverty rate, over 50%. Majority of our people are hungry. And some of them are deceived by receiving this food and they go and vote. Why? They are selling their vote for just a plate of food. And that's why I'm saying to you that if you are there tomorrow and you are able to ensure that you prepare something to give the people that you'll be transporting to go and vote, give them something, bless them. We are blessed in order to be a blessing. So give them something as you transport them to go and vote. We are renewing their mind. We are getting them out of that old mindset of saying, but last time in the elections, I was given a plate of food and I was transported by a bakkie or a taxi to go and vote. I want it to happen again. So what we are doing is we are preparing them to be able to vote for change, but we are doing so strategically. So the first thing, it's your list of 100 people. The second thing is you are transporting the people to the voting station. The third thing, you are preparing food. This is the violence. Remember what I said to you in the beginning, that South Africa has suffered at the hands of people that don't want change. If you want change, it's not going to come by us sitting down. We have to take it by force. The violent take it by force. I want you to type in the comment section again, take it by force. Take it by force. That's very important. Take it by force. That's extremely important. Now, the next thing you're going to do, if you have not yet done it, is that you're going to post the poster which we posted today that says, I am voting for Arise South Africa. You're going to post that poster on all your social media. Remember, people out there have not been able to hear about Arise South Africa like all other political parties because of the funding. These other political parties were given millions by white monopoly capital that said to these people, go out and fool people and give them posters and t-shirts and get them to vote. But after they vote, we will control you and you won't be able to effect any change. So because we are depending just on you to be able to help us mobilize and advertise, it's important that you are a walking billboard. So every single place on social media, on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook status, on your Instagram status, on your TikTok, on your YouTube, post the poster, I am voting for Arise South Africa. The poster is available on Arise South Africa's page. It's there. Another very important thing, after you've done that, don't just post the poster. No, words are powerful. Words are things. Words are alive. You have to declare it into the atmosphere with as many people watching. So you take out your video and you record yourself saying that you are going to vote for Arise South Africa. So you post that declaration. You post that video on all your social media, informing everybody that I am voting Arise South Africa. That's all you have to say. You can explain if you want to continue, but those words are so important. This is what we mean when we say we are taking it by force. Somebody might say, this is very aggressive. Exactly. We are aware that there are people in this country that do not want this country to change, and we are not going to give them a chance. We are not going to give them even the slightest of chance. No, 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 no. We are taking this thing by force. The violent take it by force. So I'm going to repeat what we are doing because this is very important. The first thing we are doing, it's your list of 100 people. Who are the 100 contacts that you are personally going to contact to vote for Arise South Africa? You're going to call them. You're going to SMS them. You're going to WhatsApp them. You're going to ensure that each and every one of them go out there and vote for Arise South Africa. The second thing, you're going to use your car. You're going to use your car to transport them. You're going to use your car to get them to the voting station, drive them to the voting station, and drive them back. Number 3, you're going to prepare a gift, food, to be able to feed them. Remember what I said to you. Many of them, they are still using the old mentality of saying the ANC gives us food on voting day. So who are we going to vote for? Who's going to give us food? If you don't give us food, we won't vote for you because we are used to getting food. Why do they have that mentality? Majority of our people live in poverty. Many of them still have the wrong mentality about voting. So you need to give them something so that they understand that, you know what? There are other people out there that can also take care of you. It's not only that political party. That's the force that you are using there. And the last thing is that you are promoting Arise everywhere. Every bit of social media is going to be going abuzz and aflame with Arise South Africa. You're posting the poster, I am voting for Arise South Africa, and you're declaring it with your words. This part is the most important. You know, when we speak, we charge up the atmosphere. When you release words into the atmosphere that influence the time and the seasons that we are in. And that's why it's important that you release that video. I am voting for Arise South Africa. It must be released. It's extremely important. Don't worry about fancy editing. Don't worry about filters. I mean, you can put them if you want to. Just release those words. You in a camera saying, I am voting for Arise South Africa. That's the 4 things that I'm asking you to do. I want to see tonight, who are the people that are saying, President, we are ready to take this thing by force. If you are one of them, just lift up your hand in the comment section. Lift up your hand in the comment section and say, I am ready to take this thing by force. I am ready to fight for my country. I am ready to fight for this change that we want to see. I am one of those that are being depended on to ensure that change is done in our country. I am lifting up my hand to say, enough is enough. We are taking back our country by force. I am one of those that are saying, enough is enough. I won't allow my country to not be prosperous. I won't allow my country to continue being known as a country of poverty. Enough is enough. I'm taking it back. That's the resolution that we are taking. That's the action that we are taking. That's the conviction that we are taking. That's the courage that we are taking. Be bold and be very courageous. When you get to the voting station tomorrow, remember, as Arise South Africa leaders, we are eagles. That's why our logo is the eagle. You all know our logo is the eagle. Our logo is the eagle. As an eagle, you are bold. When you get to the voting station tomorrow, let everybody know to say, provincially, I'm voting for Arise South Africa. Don't be shy about it. Let everybody know. When you get to the line at the voting station, don't keep quiet. Let them know to say, I'm voting for Arise South Africa on the provincial ballot paper, because we are eagles. The eagle is bold. The eagle is there for leadership. The eagle is one of those birds that doesn't allow itself to continue and watch things fade away. The eagle spreads its wings and it's bold about the decisions it's taking. So each and every one of you, when you get to the voting station, you make it known to say, I'm here. Arise South Africa is here. You let them know that change has arrived. You make it clear that change is there. And you inform them, because let me tell you something. There are many people that are undecided about who they'll vote for when they get to the voting station. So when you get there and they see your boldness, they see your conviction in your eyes, they see the energy that you carry and the way you speak about Arise South Africa, many of them on the spot will change their mind and say, you know what? I'm going to vote for Arise South Africa. I'm going to vote for Arise South Africa. And here's one thing I want you to do. Don't be too quick to leave the voting station. No. Stick around and stay around. Continue to talk to people. Continue to talk them up. Continue to encourage them to say, yes, things are not working in our country, but give Arise South Africa a chance. The voting station, when you are there, you are talking to your fellow citizens. You are communicating with them. You are discussing. By the way, there's no law against you talking to a fellow citizen at the voting polls. There's no law against it. Remember, it's not like you're going there with a banner to campaign or you're going, no. You're going there as you are and you're just informing them about the convictions of why you're voting for Rise Up. And even go to the point of saying, did you release a video saying that you're voting for the party you're voting for? And show them the video that you released. Make sure that when you are there at the voting station, make sure that you talk to another 100 people. At the voting station, make sure you're talking to people. Make sure you're conversing. Tomorrow, you're going to be talking to as many people as you can at the vote. Remember, you've got your 100 people that you're going to call to make sure that they are there at the voting station, to make sure that they are voting Arise South Africa. Then this is the 100 people that you're going to talk to at the voting station. While you are waiting, don't be quiet. While you are waiting in line, continue to speak. Continue to share the convictions of Arise South Africa, because you'll find that many people, when they are there, they are not sure who to vote for. Many of those people are there because they want to be part of a democratic process, but they are still finalizing who to vote for. And you're only saying to them that, you know what, on the third ballot paper, the provincial ballot paper, vote for Arise South Africa. 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 So in each and every voting station, we are there. Each and every voting station, we are there. And we are going to make sure that people are aware and people know that Arise South Africa exists. I want to read some of your comments. Wow. Piladi says, change has arrived. Thank you so much. Yes. Lee says, Arise South Africa. Arise. My goodness. Lila Lucy says, I vote X for Arise SA, the eagle. Yes. Mazo says, forward we go with Arise. Pindile says, Mr. President, I am voting for Arise South Africa. Wow. Lisicha says, I am ready. Yes. Dinewa says, my hand is up. I'm ready. Yes. Desmond Mukwena says, change is here, leader. Wow. Sylvia says, yes, I'm here. Wow. This is amazing. So many of us united in a vision for our country. So I want you to be aware of the fact that things can change. Things can change. You know, I always say to people that don't believe the lie that things can always remain the same, nothing will change. No. Things can change suddenly. And tomorrow is the suddenly of South Africa. Suddenly, things can change in our nation. Our vote is able to make things change suddenly. And it's important that we go there with that vigor. We go there with that courage. We go there with that knowledge. We go there knowing that things can change. Your voice can make a change. We know it because in Arise South Africa, for us to get where we are, it was the people that stood with us that were able to get us to where we are. So we understand and we know that your voice and your vote can make a change. And that's why it's important that tomorrow, these 5 steps that I've given you, you follow them and you take it by force. You take it by force. Leave nothing to chance. Be bold and very courageous. Take it by force. Why? Because South Africa belongs to South Africans. It does not belong to a group of people that sit down and control it through back rooms. It does not belong to a group of Freemasons. It does not belong to a group of people in Stellenbosch. No, it belongs to South Africans. And each and every one of us tomorrow, we are taking back our country. We are taking it by force. We are not asking for permission. We are not waiting for permission. You know, the most interesting thing is that even people from other political parties will join our lives. And when they join our lives, they'll say to us, hey, I was not aware that there's such a political party. You know what? My vote has changed. I'm going to Arise. And I'm seeing many of them that are joining this live are saying, wow, my vote has changed. I like that. This person just said, my vote has changed. Thank you. You know, and the reason they join our lives is because where else are they going to hear about a group of people that started a political party that's not funded, where genuine South Africans have come together to say we want to see change in our country and are moving the country forward. So don't be surprised when they are here. There's nowhere else where they can go. There's no way, because in many of these political parties, they are just taken down to stadiums. They hire musicians to sing for them. They get entertainment. After that entertainment, they go back home. They learned nothing. They know nothing. They can implement nothing. But at Arise South Africa, every time you've come, we are educating you about what our manifesto is doing. We are letting you know exactly how we are doing things. We are informing you, and we are even showing you every single, even to the point, do you know that Arise South Africa is the only political party that's been able to show their bank statements? Our video is still up where we showed you our bank statement that we are funded by the will of the people. The only political party that's ever been able to do that in South Africa. I checked. We're the only political party that's ever opened up our bank account for the public to see. I think that deserves a round of applause, because that's transparency at work. That's democracy at work. So tomorrow we are going out in our numbers. Yes, change has arrived. Yes, Arise South Africa is there. Yes, in every single ballot paper, we are there. And yes, we're going to vote for Arise South Africa. So I want us to quickly recap. What is our force? Number one, you've got your list of 100 people. You are contacting those 100 people. You are calling them. You are sending them WhatsApps. You are letting them know to say, please make sure that you are voting for Arise South Africa. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to use your car to transport them. Remember what I said, many of them still need their mindsets renewed. They are still waiting for the ANC to transport them to the voting stations because that's what they are used to. You transport them. And sometimes if you are living in the urban areas, go into the townships or the rural areas, because that's where many of the voters are. And that's where you'll be able to transport many of them to the voting station. Go in there and let them know to say, I've come because I believe in Arise South Africa so much. When they see your conviction and your belief in Arise South Africa, immediately they will be encouraged to vote for Arise South Africa. So go out into the townships, go out in the rural areas, and ensure that you pick up as many of our people as possible and take them to the voting station, because many of them have been lied to. Many of them are not even aware that there's an alternative. Many of them don't even know that there is an option that can take them out of the dire situation they are in. So go out there and transport them. The third thing is prepare a gift, prepare food. Make sure that you assist them with food. I said to you that the oldest trick in the book, the ANC for all these years, they always give voters streetwise too. It's not a lie. You can ask anybody. The ANC always give voters streetwise too when they go and vote. So some people's mentalities are so used to streetwise too. If they are not getting a streetwise too, they are not going to vote. They are selling their votes for the streetwise too. And the only way you can assist them is by saying, you know what? Let me buy you that streetwise too, as long as you'll be able to vote correctly. And you'll find that once they've got something in their stomach, they'll be able to vote correctly. So don't be too quick to judge them. As I said to you, the country has an over 50% poverty rate. There are people out there that are in desperate situations. And to them, a streetwise too means so much. And that's the reason why they continue voting the way they vote. So go out there and assist them. Get them some food. One of our leaders said, President, I've got my soup, I've got my bread. I'm going to be out there to feed all the homeless and assist them with going out to vote. That's important. Why? Because you are changing their mindset. Because many of them believe that since the ANC gives us streetwise too, let's go and vote for them so we can get a streetwise too. And once you change their mindset to show them that there are actually other political parties that don't actually want you to only depend on the streetwise too, but they want you to own your own business that will supply many people in the nation. When you begin to explain and teach them and show them that practically, they begin to understand it. They begin to go out there and vote. So let's ensure that we do so. Somebody says, I'm going to buy them streetwise 5. Oh, wow. I like that, leader. I like that you're going above and beyond. I like that. And the third thing that I said that each of us must do is we must be walking billboards. on our social media, we must post the poster, I am voting for Arise South Africa. Then we must also declare it vocally that we are voting for Arise South Africa. The words must go out into the atmosphere. Everybody must know that you are voting for Arise South Africa. So make that video. After this live, go and make that video and post and tag me in that video. I'll make sure to repost that video. Also tag Arise South Africa. We'll make sure to repost that video. What are we doing? We are declaring into the atmosphere, Arise South Africa, Arise South Africa. It's going everywhere in the atmosphere. Everybody can understand that Arise South Africa is a party to vote for. So when you do that video, you are encouraging everybody else to do so. Then the last thing which you are doing tomorrow is when you get to the voting station, you're going to talk to 100 people at the voting station. A simple conversation. You're going to share your convictions about why you believe South Africa can work, why you believe if we give Arise South Africa a chance, South Africa can become better. And as you share those convictions, you'll find that everybody, it's going to be so infectious. When you leave that voting station, you'll find that the person you left and you told that, they'll begin to tell another and another. At the voting station, it's going to go viral. Everybody will just begin to wonder, how did this thing happen? The moment they got to the voting station, they'll be saying, oh, who are you voting for? They'll be saying, I'm voting for Arise South Africa. Why? Somebody who was in this line told me what Arise South Africa is doing. While I'm waiting in the line, I'm looking at the president's TikTok videos. I'm looking at the president's YouTube. I was not aware of it. While I was in the line, the person just told me about it. I'm seeing that it's real. I'm listening to this thing. You know what? I'm going to give Arise South Africa a chance. While they are in the line, do you see the wisdom that we are operating at? So at the voting station, that is the best place to mobilize. So the minimum target that each and every one of us have got is to talk to 100 people minimum. And if you can be there the whole day in the line, be there the whole day in the line. You move with the line. When the line gets to the front, you get out of the line, you join the line again. And all you are doing, you're not disturbing anybody. You are not going out there with regalia or campaigning. You are just having a conversation with fellow citizens about your own convictions. You are just sharing your own convictions about Arise South Africa. And as you do that, you'll see every single line in our country, everybody who waits in that line. Because as people wait in that line, they are nervous. As people wait in that line, they are undecided. As people wait in that line, they are not sure. And you are there to say to them that as you wait in this line, there is a political party, Arise South Africa. You can actually go out and vote for it. And as you say this to them, you'll find that so many of them will say, wow, I was not aware. And as you say it, let them know to go on social media and find the videos of Arise South Africa. While they're waiting in the line, they'll be watching the videos and they'll be voting for Arise South Africa. So it's so important that each and every one of us do this. Wow, TikTok, 12,700 likes in this video. TikTok is doing very well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. YouTube, wow. The numbers in this video, my goodness. We are doing amazing numbers. And the more of us that do this tomorrow, the more victory is assured for us. I mean, imagine if we've got all these numbers, the 12,700 likes on all these numbers, every single person doing what we are doing tomorrow, we are just going to multiply. It's going to be a multiply effect. People will look back and say, how did Arise South Africa do it? And they'll realize that everything they did, their steps were ordered. Their steps were ordered. Every step they took, it was an ordered step. Every step they took, it was the perfect step. Every step they took, it was the right step. And we are doing so in courage and in boldness. We are doing so in violence. We are doing so by force. We are doing so to get back our country. So I want to thank each and every one of you. And I want to implore you to say, let's ensure that we play our role right now. There might be some people that are not aware that we are live. I want you to share this video with them. Share this video with as many people as possible. Share the video with them. Let them know. Let them know to say the president has given us marching orders. The president has given us a line of march. The president has given us instructions on what we can do tomorrow and today to ensure that we're victorious. So I hope everybody is going to implement this. And my goodness, I look forward to seeing what South Africa will be. I tell you, our country has the best potential in the world. Many of you already know this, and I've said it again that we are the top three richest countries in the world. We are one of them. And we're going to be unleashing all the hope, unleashing our future, unleashing our industries, manufacturing, the jobs that will be created, the hope that will be created. No more will our people continue to suffer at the hands of this corrupt government. Change has arrived. And Arise South Africa is going to make sure that in this country, in our lifetime, South Africa is the land of promise that it is supposed to be for each and every one of us. So thank you to all our leaders. Thank you. As we go out tomorrow, we go out in violence. And I'm not talking about physical violence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about violence when it comes to the 5 pointers that I've given you. That's the force. You base it on the 5 pointers that I've given you, the 5 instructions that I've given you that you will be implementing tomorrow as you visit the polls. And you'll see the victory. You'll see a victory that arises. We are going to shock so many people. So many people. We will shock so many of them because all of them are not aware that Arise South Africa is an idea. Arise South Africa is a vision that whose time has arrived, whose season has arrived, and it has to come to fruition. It has to be so. Predestination is at work. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I look forward to engaging each and every one of you. I look forward to knowing each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in many of our Arise South Africa events that are going to be coming in the future, because Arise South Africa is here to stay. Arise South Africa will be victorious tomorrow. Arise South Africa is going to conquer tomorrow. Arise South Africa is going to win tomorrow. And we are going to do so because each and every one of us are going there in violence. We are going there in force to ensure that the 5 pointers I spoke about, we execute them and we execute them well. Let's ensure that the election is a peaceful election. Let's ensure that there is no physical violence from anybody. Let's also ensure that our election is not stolen. And let's do so to protect our country and ensure that our country functions for all of us. From your president, I want to thank you. As you can see, my heart is filled with so much joy. So much joy and anticipation to see what will be happening tomorrow and to thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be where we are. Without you, we wouldn't be able to achieve what we're able to achieve. You are the missing puzzle in Arise South Africa. And with you, we are able to compete. With you, we are able to win. With you, we are able to take this nation to the next level. Arise wherever you are. And let me tell you something. Once the country arises, we will arise in every area of our lives. In our finances, we'll arise. In our health, we'll arise. In our education, we'll arise. In every aspect of our lives, we will arise. Why? Because Arise is a vision that has come with practical solutions to ensure that our country changes. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. Share this video everywhere. And I want us, before we leave, I would have said, let's unmute ourselves, but you can't. But before we leave, I want everybody to type in Arise in the comment section. Type in Arise. Type in Arise wherever you are. Yes. Arise. Yes. Arise. Yes. Arise.